This is a general reading for Aries for August 25th through August 31st. So if Aries is your sun or moon rising or Venus, this is a general reading for you. Because Mercury's in retrograde, I have all these technical things that happen, and I just started the video and I get this big message. Do you want to upgrade your phone now? No, not now. Remind me later. So I started all fresh. You might see the different layout. I have the table set up for doing the readings for the Medieval Festival, which started yesterday. If you're interested, I'm going to tilt this down. I have some videos about the parade, and it's pretty awesome. It had a lot of high energy. I love the different music and the drummers. And I thought, there was this one kid and he was drumming on the snare drums. I thought, boy, you know, he's going to be one of those famous drummers that's in a rock and roll band someday. You know, the best drummer I ever saw was in a George Benson concert. Oh, that was great. I mean, you know, that's my genre. I like George Benson and the Motown and good jazz. So, good music. There was a acrobat. There was it's on the video. Huge ball that he was walking down the street on this ball, and people flipping down the street, and people on stilts, and a section on animals. They had snakes and sheep and a llama and 2 camels. They're on both of the videos, and in the descriptions it will tell you which is which. Nina's here on the table with me. I'm going to try to do 2 videos before the Medieval Festival starts again, because I have vendors right by the door there. For subscribers, now I'm still going to have the same offer that if you subscribe in the month of August or put in a comment in the month of August, you'll be considered for that complimentary 30-minute reading. And I do read all the comments and I do respond to them. And I feel a real sense of community. I really appreciate all the kind words for my health and for Gypsy. And, you know, I feel this sense of community that we're getting to know each other, and I recognize your names when you put in the comments. So, and I try to, you know, they've all been positive comments. I really appreciate the community we are forming. Now with the subscribers, I'm at 200109. I was at 200111 for 2 days. Well, 2 dropped off. That's why I'm asking if you would look below the video. If you think you're a subscriber and it says you're a subscriber, great. If it doesn't say you're a subscriber, would you please consider becoming a subscriber again? They drop off and I don't know why. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It's free. Free is good. And for being a subscriber, you're not going to get any solicitation from me. You're not going to be on any sort of, you know, email thing or texts or anything. I won't do that because I respect your boundaries and privacy. But you would be notified when the videos come out, if that's what you want. And it helps the logarithms. Now, because I reached 2,000, I had my little bonus thank you, where you could get a 30-minute reading for $20. When I reach 3,000, I'm going to have the same offer. So, you know, instead of 30 minutes for a 30-minute reading, it would be $20 for a 30-minute reading when I reach 3,000. I gained 1,000 subscribers in 1 month, so I know it's possible. I do know it's possible. And I'm preparing to go back to the U.S. I mean, my house is sold. I don't know if I'm going to do readings next week. I'll let you know if I'm available, because it depends on whether I start my radiation. I'm sort of wanting to do it when I go to the U.S. So that's, I'll let you know that part of it. And my mind went. Oh, when I go to the U.S., I have some things that I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to set up my studio, and I'm going to have a good camera, and I'm going to have a good microphone, and I'm going to do some streaming so that we can have an interactive group maybe, and you don't have to be a member at first. But, you know, I might do 3-card readings. We might do an exchange of, our experiences and our psychic development or our spiritual development, maybe a forum. You can put your, comments. So I have some things that I'm envisioning. One thing I'm going to do when I get to the US, I'm going to have a weekly live stream where we do energy healing for the planet. And that is not just for Mother Earth and the universe, but also to change the energy of the planet to be more positive. So it's come to my mind that that's something that I need to be doing. And so, and it's, there will be people that want to do that feel, that that's something they want to follow. But I really want to change the energy of the planet, of people, so that we have more positive. And, the veil is lessening, and spiritual development is going to be accelerating. So that's something that Spirit has been talking to me about doing this week. Okay, so Aries. I pulled 3 oracle cards for you, and it's almost like a story. It's the wisdom. Here it is. It's the wisdom of the oracle, and I pulled 3 cards, and it's like a story of progression. Because I looked at those and they're not really different. They're different. Well, the first one is chaos and conflict. So it could be that you're wrapping up a situation and there's chaos. Now, out of creativity comes out of chaos. So it's clearing the way, clearing the energy, and after that's cleared away, then comes the new. So the creativity comes after the new. The next card that you had is all that glitters. Now, all that glitters can be that you are focused more on the distractions. That old thing about if you want to distract somebody, you say, oh, look at the shiny object. Well, this is almost the same thing. It's not looking at the big picture of manifestation. It's looking, sort of superficially. So you have the chaos, then you have the superficial development, and then the final outcome, and I have not had this card out of this deck, is the milk and honey. Now, this is pretty awesome. It's the last card of this deck. And it is out of creation, manifestation of what you want. Having it all. So, the land of milk and honey, the promise. Well, this is the promise. So you have a story of chaos. And then you're manifesting, but it's superficial. And then the milk and honey. And that's your progression for this week. So it's evaluation and assessment of where you are and what you want to manifest. Now I have shuffled the cards, and so let's see what we have coming up this week for you, Aries. And one more time. You might hear some voices out there. They're going to be setting up the booth. And I also did videos of the vendors. That was in that video that I had to stop. And they have so many craftspeople that have their, and I'm going to be showing those. Like the vendor that's right by my door has carved these beautiful wood carvings, and I know that it's the hand of God that's inspired him. Like there's the St. Francis, there's some of nuns, and I've already posted that video. Farther down, there's where they've made some homemade incense sticks that are all natural, that I will pan, and you can see those. There's next to them is essential oils with homemade soaps. Farther down is this lady that has the most, just yummy things that she's made from scratch. Desserts and sweets. And then they have roasted nuts, and they have candied fruit peels. So I'm going to show those. They're all, most of these are Portuguese. This is the way that they make their money. And I really support small business. And so this is a way that I can show what's available. And I post it also on my Facebook so that locals can see it. And I've also posted I don't know if I posted on Facebook, but there's a lady that's up, she lives close to Fatima, and she makes these donuts, and you can pick the toppings and the sprinkles and everything that you want on there. So I posted that, and so it's all, a lot of them are the homemade objects. Now there's a place farther down that has crystals and singing bowls, and I might get it. They have a crystal necklace that would match my earrings, so I might get that. But they're not homemade, they're not made, but you know, I had a huge crystal collection about 30 years ago. And a lot of my crystals are still in Vegas. But anyway, I'll show you what he has down there too. So it's so you get a little flavor of what's going on here in the medieval festival. And they did the parade, you know, and they had the camels, and they had the falcon, and they had the two owls, and the sheep, you know, the agriculture. It represented the village, how it would have been many years ago. They had 2 Knights Templar, which I got all excited about. And the castle was the castle for the Knights Templar. And I think that's part of why I was in this village, because I was a Knights Templar at that castle at one time. That's what drew me here. And I don't know if it's a completion or what it was, but that's why I'm in this village. So let's see what we have for the cards this week. In the very first card, Aries, we have, the Hermit. So looking for the truth. Taking a break. Well, it's not taking a break. It's being objective, looking down from the mountain, you removing yourself from the everyday and looking for the truth. There's your lantern, looking for the truth. Crossed over by, maybe it's looking for clarity. Temperance, looking for the truth, and it's saying take your time, be temperate. It could be that you've been in a situation and you want clarity of it, and it's being temperate. Before you react, before you take any actions, it's time to take a break and step back and look at what really is the true situation before you act. At the base of it is the Queen of Swords. I would say that this is cutting through to the truth. You know, the swords are cutting through, looking for the truth, clarity. This is a week of clarity, I think, for you. What's going on. And behind you is the painful situation, which is no longer... you know, it's the ending of a difficult cycle. It's behind you. And even some of the feelings are behind you. You're working through that, and now you're working on the clarity. Where do you go? Because, look what's crowning you. The Ace of Cups. And well, you know, I always do the 2 rows of cards, so we'll get some clarity there. Let me move these. So I have this set up for doing the readings. Okay, then we have right ahead of you, the Empress. No, you're not going to bark. Yes, there are people outside. Then we have the 2 of Swords, trying to make up your mind after you get your information. Strength card. Getting some major arcanas here. Then the 8 of Swords, and the final outcome is the Death card. That's pretty good, because it's transition, renewal, rebirth. It's a new chapter. So the final outcome is a new chapter, and that goes with your milk and honey. So with the Death card comes the Sun. Look at that. Then we have the World. Oh, they've got great cards coming up. The King of Pentacles. Okay. The Ace of Pentacles. New money coming. King of Cups. Ace of Cups with the Magician. 10 of Swords behind you with the Page of Cups. Base of it, the Moon. Queen of Cups, crossed over by the 2 of Pentacles. Look at all those cups. New romance or home. If you don't want romance in your life, you have free will. So you don't have to have new romance. It could be loving yourself. It could also be interpreted as moving home. But if you want love, love is coming to you, Aries. If you want love in your life, there are so many cup cards here. So the first thing is, you know, it's clarity. You have several cards that are looking for the truth, the clarity, because you have the Hermit, and he's looking for the truth with this lantern, crossed over by the Temperance card. Take your time. So this is an assessment time. What do you want? What happened? That's where your Hermit is. Where's the light? What's the truth on this whole situation? It could have been, the swords or whatever, the 10 of swords behind you, that you still, sometimes you're wondering, well, what happened there? Give me some clarity. And that's where it's really important to sit and be real introspective, looking inside and looking outside objectively. That's what the Hermit is looking objectively without all of that emotions, without putting in, your story. It's looking at something. And why do you want to look at something objectively? So that you can have a fresh perspective, that you can look at what the lesson. So, you don't want to repeat. That whole thing about the definition of insanity is repeating something and expecting a different outcome. So what happened? So you don't have the same outcome. If it didn't work out, then you don't want the same outcome. And it says Temperance. So take your time. That's what you're doing, is taking your time, assessing, getting the information, getting the clarity. That's what you're doing this week, as part of it is getting the clarity of what happened and the clarity of where you want to go. What is resonating in your soul about what you want? And then there's your Queen of Cups and balancing. Now, I would say it could be interpreted in two different ways. It could be you, Queen of the Cups, and balancing, what direction do you go? Do you want a relationship? And how did that other relationship work? What is it that you want in a relationship? You're balancing in your mind, just like I said it, and I'm balancing in my mind. What do you want? What do you want to create? Do you want love in your life? What kind of relationship do you want? Do you want casual dating, or do you want something that's going to be permanent, or that has, that's going to resonate with you for a partner? So you're balancing all of that in your mind. Now, it could also be representing moving. And what kind of place do you want to move to? Do you want a house? Do you want a condo? Do you want an apartment? Do you want local? Do you want far? Do you want rent? Do you want to buy? All those things. And you're balancing in your mind about houses, because Cups is homes. Now, the base of it is, see, and this is perfect. The Queen of Swords cuts through. So this is all about cutting through the cloud to get an idea of the direction to go. Insight. And it says here that in the moon, you don't have all the information yet. So the Queen of Swords represents cutting through, getting the information, getting the insight, and the moon indicates that there's some things that are still beneath the surface that are hidden. So that's why it's really important to be the Hermit, looking down to get the clarity, to get the insight, to know what direction to go. And the insight is also important. So if you had somebody coming up, like representing a King of Cups, it's really important to get that clarity. Is there anything hidden? Are there any hidden agendas? Not hidden agendas, but things that are not important, that are not apparent. As you start relationships, that's why it's important to have the dating period, so that everybody can be on their perfect, well, not everybody, but a lot of people can be on their perfect behavior for a short period of time, and that's called the honeymoon period. And then after that, those little things start slipping out. He could be, that person that you're dating could be perfect table manners, congenial to everybody, they pay attention to you. And then after a while, maybe they're a little bit late in showing up, or they act rude to the wait staff, or they might become dismissive of something you say. Those are those little things that after a while, it's going to show up. And that's why it's important to take your time and get to know that person. Because you deserve the best, and you need to look at what resonates within you and what you want. Spirit is saying, do not take second. Oh, and I see, one of those trophy cups. Well, you're not the trophy, but what it's saying is, you're number one and you deserve the best. That's what it's saying. You're number one and you deserve the best. And so for so long, some of you thought that you didn't have to, that you didn't deserve the best, that, it was those negative self-talks. But take your time because you deserve the best. You don't have to impulsively just accept what is there at that time. Because that person, maybe they have a perfect person out there waiting for them. It checks all the boxes for that other person. So you just take your time, use your discernment, use your ears, your eyes to see how, feelings inside over a period of time. Because this is what's behind you, is that Ten of Swords in the Page of Cups. I think it's a broken relationship. It could be home too. But I think that, you're still feeling a little bit, it was like a lesson, it's a chapter over, but I get a sense it might have been a broken relationship. Because what's on your mind is new love, and you want new love. The Magician sending to the universe. And, the Magician has the infinity. This says it's unlimited, whatever you want. And this is the Ace of Cups. Now, this could be home, and you could have, you can have whatever kind of home you want. Manifest what you want. It also can mean that you can have the best kind of relationship that you want. The love that you want, the love that you deserve. You are awesome. You are number one. You have the trophy that says you're number one. So that's what's on your mind, is what do you want to manifest for love. And you could even put the little checklist. I've told about how I was in manifestation classes, and this gal was talking about, she put all this list of what she wanted for, in a relationship with a man. And he had all the marks, except he didn't like to work. She didn't put that on her list. So what is important to you? What are your non-negotiables? Now, I'll tell you what my first non-negotiable is. I want somebody with empathy, which is all inclusive. How do they treat their fellow man? How do they treat themselves? How do they think about the planet? That's the empathy. That's my first non-negotiable. And so you have to go over, what are your non-negotiables? And that's what and do not short yourself. That's what Spirits keeps saying, is do not short yourself. Do not. Some of you have been taking the crumbs, the breadcrumbs, thinking that's all that you, that's better than nothing. Well, no, it's not. You deserve the best. You are entitled to the best. And keep remembering that. And I would recommend for some of you, maybe even, listening to some YouTube videos with positive affirmations. You can play them all night, put it on a loop, reprogram your brain. Because ahead of you, it's love is on your mind, and then we have your King of Cups coming up. And it says here's the Empress. So it could be home again, moving to a nice new home, having it all, having your environment, or it could be your King of Cups, your love relationship. So it can be interpreted two different ways. Now remember also that if you don't want a partner, love yourself. Work on yourself if that's what you'd rather do. So, but love is in the air. That's what it's saying, that you wanted love. Because ahead of you, and I always read these in order, you're going to get some new opportunities for prosperity, and you're undecided. You don't know what direction to go. Because the Ace of Pentacles is new opportunities. Could be new love, could be a new job, could be prosperity, and you're undecided. And you're the blindfold, which means you don't have all the information yet. And the Ace of the Swords is cutting through to the truth, but you don't know what direction to go because you're still blindfolded. You don't have the information. Then we have here strength with your King of Pentacles. Now the King of Pentacles can represent work, and an organization, or it can represent your King of Cups. But it says House of the Strength card. I think for someone, this can be work, and it has the Strength card, which says stay, and it could be relationships too. The Strength card is stay true to your path. Stay true to your health. Have the strength of the lion. Do not waver. Oh, this is interesting. Someone says, beware of a silver tongue. Someone that's really, has the big spiel, but it's not really true. It says, have the strength. Do not be fazed by the silver tongue, because over time you'll see that their words are falling. They're not true. Okay, thank you, Spirit. And it can be related to the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles can represent a job, and they're telling you some things that aren't true. Like, oh, yeah, our company's great. We give you bonuses and all this, raises, and, you have great opportunities for advancement, Use your discernment. It could be a person, a date. Use your discernment, because Spirit is saying, watch out for the silver tongue, because the words can fall. So it's work or it's relationship. Then we have here I'm going to have to, after this video, I'm not going to do any more because she's taking down her little thing now to open up her vendor. So you feel like you're at the middle of your world, but you feel like you can't move forward. Now, these ropes are self-imposed. And it could be your negative feelings about what you deserve. Because, you have the chaos, then you have all the glitter. And you could be in the chaos and all the glitter. And after that, you can move to the milk and honey. So, these are about attitude. These are your restrictive ideas that are in your mind that keep you from actualizing what you really want, which is the big. You can have the middle, you can have your world. You have to let go of the restrictions and you can move forward. And then the final outcome, I love this, is rebirth and sunny. And I would say that the sun is your milk and honey. Look at that. So it's, things are starting to flow for you, Aries. But know that you are entitled to have the best. Everybody is. There is no limit in the universe. There is no limit in the universe. Now let's pull some cards here. I'm going to pull a couple of cards. Then I think I'm not going to do any more videos. It gets too noisy out there. And the energy gets real. I started a video this week to do a personal video for someone. And the energy was just too swirly. So I had to stop. So let's get a couple of cards here. I love the believe in your own magic, because these are magic. And let's see what they have here. Right, Nina? And Gypsy is outside. I know that you've been sending her prayers. And, last week before I took her to the vet, this week she was wanting back rubs. She's not wanting back rubs anymore. And today she sort of had that look in her eye. Not the look, but this is getting to be a little tedious for her. So I told her, I said, when you cross over, Teddy's going to be there, and Sammy's going to be there, and Joey's going to be there. These are dogs that she lived with. And I said, and then you'll be waiting for me. I'm not going to heaven unless there's not my dogs there. So what do we have for you, Aries? What do we have? What do we have for Aries for this week that they need to know? And I would really like to know, Aries, about the love in your life. Please let me know that. And the card that you have is Thorns. Weave together the crown you deserve. What is the message that Spirit's trying to tell you? Yes. And it's number 14, which works out to a 5, which is like life experiences. Okay, 14. This right here is the ultimate card of celebration. Not just of yourself, you're amazing though, but of those around you. When you're done putting on your crown each and every morning, go and help someone else put on theirs. You have so much love and wisdom to spread. So don't waste it. Self-love is essential, but community is important too. So what has Spirit been telling you this with your reading? Love yourself, expect the best, expect the love that you want in your life. You deserve the best love. Someone that's going to appreciate, someone's going to appreciate the jewel that you are, more than diamonds. And they will appreciate you. That's what you're entitled to. And then I'm going to pull another card for you. And they said, I think it's the positivism here, the law of positivism. But they want me to pull a card for this. Okay, here we go. And I think that I'm not going to get anybody wanting readings until later in the night. Yesterday I closed up early, so I'm going to stay in. The festival runs until 1 in the morning. And I think I'll get more in the evening with the adults. Okay, angels and archangels, please tell me, what do you want Aries to know? Thank you. And the card here is right here. I am calm and safe in the midst of chaos. Now, isn't that interesting? The first card you had today was chaos. So do you feel like you're in some chaos right now? Interesting, huh? But remember, out of the chaos comes creation. So the chaos will go away. Those 8 of Swords will break away, and then you will have your milk and honey. Okay, so very good, Aries. Anita and I are sending you light and love from Portugal and from the Medieval Festival.